here with March's Q&A live. If you're new to how this works, basically you ask me any questions about growing your business and I'll give you the answers. And we do this every month now, as well as our regular Monday and Thursday 7 o'clock videos designed to help grow your business. We know that people like to ask live questions as well. So just hit it in the comments below. I can see those questions and I'll do my very best to answer them. I'm just going to bring up now pre-questions that people have already emailed in, and you can do this via my website jamessinclair.net, just on the contact us page. Let me just see if I can get you in here, guys, so I can see those questions. Let me just get in right, because I've got them. Hello to Chia, hello to you guys, hello to all 15 of us now watching on this month's Q&A live. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask me about growing your business, hit it in the comments below. And whilst you're there, please hit the like button. Give it a big punch on the like button, because the more you like it, the more the YouTube algorithm goes wild in getting this out to more and more people. So let me just bring this up. Here we go. Questions set in. Let me get it. Okay, so I've got loads of questions that I want to answer. Don't forget, if you want to ask me a question about growing your business, or you want some clarity on the questions that I'm about to answer, then I'll do that. Hayden Willis has just asked, hi James, I'm 15 and in the process of starting my first business. Do you have any advice? Yes, make sure you're reading as many books as possible. Make sure you're subscribing to the James Sinclair YouTube channel, and make sure you listen to my podcasts as well, because on that podcast, I'm coaching business owners on their individual problems live on how to grow their business, and apply to come on that podcast. It's free. You just go to jamessinclair.net and then we can have a half-hour chat, and promote your business to the tens of thousands of people for free to listen to my podcast. The only stipulations that you got to have is you got some challenges. It can't be just some mass pitch fest for your business. You've got to have some challenges to get yourself on the James Sinclair Business Broadcast. There's also a podcast YouTube channel called James Sinclair's Business Broadcast. Go and give that a subscribe as well. All right, let's get into some questions. I don't know who these are from. I'd like to give you a shout out, so I'll make sure that we can do that. Oh no, I do know who they're from. Best way to get investment via swimming with the fishes, from Rob Hutton in Instagram. So when I say swimming with the fishes, I mean getting lots of little bits of money from lots of little people rather than a big wow. So when we're talking about big wows in investment, that could be an angel investor, a venture capitalist, a big bank, for example. But there are other ways, and I think about how we built Teddy-tastic, which is my toy making business. We've made over 1 million teddy bears, and I want to tell you this story. In fact, I'm making a YouTube video tomorrow at 7 o'clock about how much we make from our teddy bear business. So go and check that out. It comes out 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'll give you the profit and loss, the turnover, the revenue, the costs of sale, absolutely everything. But when I started that business, I needed about £300,000 to grow that business, and I didn't have the £300,000. So what I did is I got advanced sales in advance of my orders. So I went to people and said, look, I'm making this product. Would you like to buy some? And I got their order value. So I knew that I had a hungry audience. I knew I had customers before I invested any money into making the product. So that's one fish really that's come into my pool for me to grow that business. Next, I went to a supplier that I found in China, and an importer in the UK. And I said, look, I've got all these order values. Can you pay for all the stock? Then when it comes in, I'll pay you. So that means I didn't need to give up any equity in my business. I used multiple fishes in that little story so that I could keep 100% ownership of my business. And I think what people are very keen to do now is just sell off some shares to venture capitalists. And I always say, control your business, keep 100% of your business, and only sell off if you really, really need to for a big amount of money. And you'll always get a better deal if you can prove that you know how to get customers. I'm just trying to see if I can read the chat here. Let's see if I can. I don't know. Hang on a sec. Chat's for you. Here we go. Let's see. Right. It's here now. Hey, James, I have about 300k to invest and I want to buy cheap bungalows in Burnley or somewhere similar so I can rent them out. My thinking was I want to attract older tenants who will stay for long and they are low maintenance. Hey, look, Mason, if I was having £300,000 to invest right now, I would definitely put some of that to starting a cash flow trading business that's generating much higher profits than investments would. And then I would put some of my cash into brick and mortar like you're doing now. If I had £300,000 to invest, here's what I would do. I would think about my rule of running the four companies. Company number one is the company that survives. It's the company that you are today. Company number two is the company that you really want to be, but that company is not surviving. That company is thriving. Company number three is a media and marketing company that's pushing leads into those two operating companies. And company number four is your property investment company. And what I would look to do is create a situation where you are using the profits from your operating businesses to buy more properties. So let's have a look at this, Mason. This is what I would do. I would choose a business that makes really super duper profit so that you can continue to go and buy more and more properties so that your 300,000, when it runs out, your business can then fund the next purchases. I also like your ideas of buying properties in Burnley, high yielding assets, especially if you live around there. And I like the fact that you're after bungalows and houses that families want to rent out with long-term tenants. In fact, I would much rather a lower yield on the rent for people that are going to stay there a long time rather than a revolving doors of tenants, which increases void periods and damage to property. And I've done loads and loads of videos on the YouTube channel about my return on investment strategies, and I've also got all of that in the property section of my Entrepreneurs University. Before you go and buy any property, I would definitely do the property section in my Entrepreneurs University, which you can try for free, by the way, for 14 days at my website, jamessinclair.net. It's where I've created this platform for entrepreneurs and people that want to invest cash to seriously grow their business. So that's on jamessinclair.net. Try the Entrepreneurs University and then go into the property modules that teach all about property investment, the strategies that I use. And next week, I'm bringing out a video on exactly the amount of money that I make from property. And I'm going to show you some of my property deals. That's going to come out Monday or Thursday next week, or it might be the Monday afterwards. But we're doing a whole series of videos showing exactly how we make, how much money we make from some of our businesses, the profit, the turnover, the budgets, etc., etc. If you want to get a flavour of what we've done there, the latest video before this video on the YouTube channel shows you how much money we've made from our soft play business. So that one's there for you to go and see. Thanks very much. Again, Russell, good evening to you. The Mastic guys, good evening to you. Colin Downson's asked me what would my return on investment be. I'm assuming you're talking about real estate there. I have two really good rules for assessing if a real estate deal is good for me. So rule number one is a really simple one where I don't need to get a calculator, that I can just do it in my head. So I look at a property and I think, can I get 10% rent back on total capital deployed? Now, let me explain that. If I was buying a property for £1 million, I want to make sure that we're getting at least 100,000 rent back per year. So that's 10% rent on total capital deployed, whether it's our money as a business or whether it's the bank's money or a venture capitalist, a joint venture partner, whatever. That's my quick rule. So if I'm looking at something, yeah, I can do that. Right, now, if I think I can get close to that, then I do a proper return on investment formula. I look for as close as 20% return on investment. That's a bit difficult for me to go on a YouTube live, but I made videos on the YouTube channel going directly into that. And I've created modules in the Entrepreneurs University that really explain that down to the nth degree. Again, try it free, 14 days at jamessinclair.net. Charlie Manning's asked, does getting your first mortgage on a commercial property rely on the big deposit? I've been told it also has a track record of owning commercial property to appeal. Right, look, Charlie, if you're going to buy commercial property, you've got to make sure, well, you haven't got to make, yeah, you need a big deposit if you're buying it for investment purposes. But like first time buyers can get low deposit mortgages, businesses that are buying commercial property for their business to trade out of also get lower deposit mortgages because banks much prefer lending to owner occupied investment properties, commercial properties, should I say, rather than investment property mortgages. So when you've got to put in, say, a 40, 50% deposit for investment purposes, you can actually, and I've done this multiple times, put zero deposit into a property that we're buying for our business because the business is trading from it. And very, very different. Again, I've done a module on that on the Entrepreneurs University. But banks absolutely love and much, much prefer lending to owner occupiers rather than investment. So when I started out, the first investment commercial property I bought was a property for our trading business. The second one was my investment. The third one was a big commercial property that again we were trading out of, so the bank were very keen to support that. And then as time goes on, you build equity up and you build a portfolio mortgage. You can reuse the equity to go and buy more commercial property and commercial investment. So it's, after 10 years you can really get cooking on this stuff. About to Ben TV. Hey, James, sent my question on a Facebook post today. I'm coming to that, Hayden. Ben, don't worry. Hayden tips, Willis says, any tips on raising funds for higher MOQ orders? So if you've got minimum order quantities and they're high and you've got good customers that are buying, you can actually leverage against those invoices with tons of finance houses that will lend money against those high quality invoices. And that's not as expensive as it used to be. James K, have you used the roll-up strategy of buying multiple businesses and creating synergies by reducing overhead costs, etc.? I mean, have you not watched any of my YouTube channel, James? That's what I've been doing my whole career. Tomorrow, I'm talking about buying 5 day nurseries from one person because we already own 8 day nurseries. When you roll them up, you increase the EBITDA, and EBITDA is a term of talking about the cash that a business generates, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. But yes, I love rolling up businesses, creating multiple revenue streams that fold into existing empire. Oh my God, there's so many questions here tonight for you guys. Sean John, what are your goals for this year? Survive because of coronavirus. We got loads of goals. We're opening our zoo that we've just bought. We're opening that as soon as we're physically allowed with government restrictions. We've bought a food business, an ice cream business, and I cannot wait to tell you all about that here on the YouTube channel, documenting that amazing story of the zoo and the ice cream business, how we've taken these good family brands and literally soaring them to success. I'm going to be revealing all the numbers, how we're getting customers, how we're doing the marketing, how we're innovating the team, innovating the product on both of those elements. We're also opening another day nursery in Epping this year. Hopefully we're going to get these other chain of day nurseries, and plans well underway to open our dinosaur park on Marsh Farm with a big investment plan over there as well. I've looked at some more commercial properties and trying to do a leverage way, creative way of financing those deals. Again, I'm going to be sharing all of that on the YouTube channel. I'm also looking to move house at the moment. It's a beautiful old house. I want to buy it because it's got 22 acres, which means that we can graze all of our animals over there. And there's a way that we can generate, it's very tax efficient. The way I'm doing this is you can generate rent off of the land so that it's near enough free to live in, and then eventually maybe even turn it into a wedding venue. So there we go. Mason saying, this is why I love the internet. Good for you. James K, have you had any contact with Jonathan J? I think he also does roll-up structure with Danish. Yes, James, I know Jonathan really well. In fact, I would even class him as a friend. And in fact, I'm going to be interviewing him and confronting him on this YouTube channel to really go through his strategies. If you haven't seen my Confronting Mark Tilbury video that's now got just under 5,000 views, go and check that out. Very similar style that I'll be doing with him. KTN says, I put an offer on a shop and it was rejected as my figures were too ambitious. Am I looking? I'm already operating online from a market stall, so I know my figures are short rather than overestimated. How do I change their mind? Go and meet them. Go and do it face to face. Don't rely on technology to be the answer. Go and convince them. Show them how passionate you are. Meet them face to face. And remember this: opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming along. So if you can't get that shop, go and look for another shop and be ambitious with your deal. Make sure you ask for a rent-free period for as long as possible, and ask how the landlord can support you to make sure that your business is super successful. Thank you. I have asked for a meeting. Make sure you just show your passion, show your resilience. Tell them that you won't let them down, that you are going to work super hard to make this happen. If you go in there looking like a wet lettuce, you'll end up being a wet lettuce in terms of getting that deal over the line. Wow. There's so many questions here that I need to answer. Deliciously Guilt Free, who's a member of my Entrepreneurs University. Can you recommend any good membership subscription apps for Shopify? Yeah, we do use one for Shopify. Dan, I can't remember what it is, but we use it for one of our membership platforms on Shopify, and the team really love it. I tell you what to do. Drop in a line to Laura, who's head of membership, laura.baxter at jamessinclair.net, and she'll go to our digital team and get you the answer to that one. Number three, when the organizations you work in is growing and transitioning, how important is it? How important is patience and the mental resilience to keep going? Well, you know, here's my big thing. Here's my big thing on this one. If you have the mindset that you're not going to give up, you will always succeed. And that is my mindset, whether that is the right mindset, because I always quote here, I've always said this Steve Jobs phrase, and I think it really sums up entrepreneurs. And he said this, most people give up in business because they're sane. I think there is some insanity to entrepreneurs and business owners that why am I carrying on this? Why do I want to keep on working so hard? Why am I, personally guaranteeing everything? Because I believe that I've built a team around me that I love, they're like my family, and I believe that we have the resilience and the power to deliver. Yeah, we've had a tough year, we've had a tough 2 years, but if you look at companies like Marks and Spencers that have been going for hundreds of years, and Disney and Apple, you have these tough 2, 3, 4 year periods. But if you keep on going and you keep on believing in what you're doing and you're not prepared to give up, you will win the day eventually. Let me, hopefully that answers that question. Tell me about B Corp, Simon Squibb, Instagram. I don't know what B Corp means. Sorry about that, Simon. How to motivate your team and come back from the pandemic. Down from Deliciously Guilt Free. Make sure you're regularly communicating with them and tell them that you're still looking for exciting things to do. And look, when things don't work, here's a big thing, right? When things don't work, so we've had to cut off one of our parks this year, Fort Fun. I think it's going to be really hard to make that work this year. And so we've sadly had to let that one go. And sometimes it's better to do that than let the whole thing fall apart, and make sure that you put your energies into things that can scale easier. Scalability really does make business easier, guys. If you choose businesses that can scale, much easier than those that take a long time to scale, you're going to be in a position of staying in business much, much easier. Scalability is one of the big things. Most businesses just cannot scale, and that's why they struggle to get going. And motivating your team is educating them. I use a little formula, and again, there's a video here on the YouTube channel all about motivating team. Go and just type in motivation James Sinclair team, and I'm sure it'll come up on YouTube. But it's educate your team, motivate your team. So to motivate your team, you've got to educate your team, and it's this formula: educate, congratulate, appreciate, repeat. So you educate them. The more you educate them, think about Apple stores are doing 45 minutes of training every single day. Richard Lannon's just said, "Can I buy you a coffee one day?" Yeah, just send me a Starbucks or a Costa voucher in the post. That'd be lovely. Um, face to face. Look, everyone asks me for coffees each day, guys. And whilst I think that's a great strategy, and everyone asks to come and meet me, I just would never get anything done. But I am running a live event for entrepreneurs, hopefully later on this year. And we do consultancy things. And if you want us to help you grow your business, then just send us a message in on the website, jamessinclair.net, and the team can quote up for that. How do you motivate? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Hang on a sec. When selling, advertising your service through a partner, what percentage should you expect to give up? Fiona Sweeney. Look, Fiona, I can't answer that. I don't know the ins and outs of the deal. People message me and ask me to give like strategic business advice with just a headline without the content. I need to know the content to give a correct answer, and I think I would be doing you a disservice if I just gave you that here on the YouTube channel. This is a lovely question here. Hi James, I feel pretty lost, everything business wise, and when the pandemic hits, no one wants to lend to the self-employed. So I thought the idea of ruffling off my beloved Canva van with a crowdfunding sort of exercise. Many people were telling me to go fund, but it just wasn't me. Do you think this is a good idea, bad idea? Any suggestions how I can get this moving in terms of ticket sales? Mm, I'm not keen on that. I would keep the camper van and rent it out. That's what I would do. So you've got an asset that's generating you cash flow rent, and then you've still got the asset. And then if you find it hard to borrow money, choose a business. There is a hungry audience right now. So we've got a chain of soft play centres. They're closed. They've generated no money this year. In fact, they've lost so much money. But our day nursery business has done very well. Our Marsh Farm business is doing very well. So we've opened an outdoor attraction, and we've opened more day nurseries. And there are strategic ways that you can buy businesses using vendor finance, for example, where the seller of a business lets you pay for the business over a period of time. So you don't need bank funding. You just need to get a little bit more creative. Icy Wiener says, what area are you from in the UK? Well, it's obvious that I'm from Chelsea. Listen to the way I speak. No, I'm from glorious Essex. I'm sure everyone knows that. Um, I hope we got one of these here from Ben Bogan. Since the launch, we have just secured a new venue. We've accepted we are entertaining industry after 12 months of closed doors in my face. Brilliant. I'm also a customer of yours as Teddy Tastic, and gave you some great advice. And you gave me some great advice a few years back when starting this side of my business. Small customer for now, but a customer. Well, we look forward to helping you grow your business and becoming a bigger business. In fact, we're just launching a brand new sand art business as well, where you can do sand art anywhere in the country, and it's just so cheap to do, and you can make some good margins on it. So make sure you check that out with us as well for your new venue. Um, Question number 9 here. Do you think rent to service accommodation could have a real boom, and it's something you do? Jed, no, I don't do rent to rent and service accommodation because I just think it's low barrier to entry. I think anyone can do it very easily. Therefore, you're competing with a lot of people. As my career has developed and as our business has developed, I've much preferred to do higher barrier to entry stuff so that we have less competition. And I always tell this little story. I was at a leisure event um, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever it was, a long time ago. And I was sitting next to someone that owned a chain of theme parks. And I said to him, why don't you open indoor play centres? They do really well. And he turned around and said to me, we would never do that because it's too low barrier to entry. We could open one. And someone with just a few £100,000 or even just £1 million could compete with us and take some of our market share. And that was a big aha moment for me in our business. I thought, that's really interesting. And that's why when I look at Marsh Farm and Lee Valley Animal Adventure Park and our ice cream company that's got like a 90-year-old brand behind it, and our day nurseries that have got Ofsted registrations behind it, that scares people. It's higher barrier to entry. Less people can do it really easily. And so that's why I don't get involved in rent to rent stuff or anything like that, because I just think too many people can compete with me too easily, and therefore I'm out. So that's the answer to that one. What advice have you given that you've changed your opinion on and now think differently about? Kevin Intwistle. That's a good question. That changed my opinions on many things. I think things I've learned will be a better is making sure you're in businesses that are in the easy difficult camp rather than the difficult camp when you're starting out. And what do I mean by that? Um, to build a business that scales easier is to choose something where there is a hungry audience for it straight away, no questions asked. Now, not to say that you can't, for example, do what Elon Musk is doing, where he's creating Mars space tourism. That to me is a difficult business. I would much rather focus all my energies in the easy difficult in the early days, which Elon Musk did, by the way, by creating PayPal, people always paying, and he created these softwares for finance and payments on the internet. That's easy difficult. It's difficult to do, but it's much easier than doing space tourism to Mars. And then once you've got cash behind you, you've got cash flow behind you, then you can start doing your projects that you'd really like to do in life. Okay, let me just answer some of these. Love your videos, all very inspiring. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Daniel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Is this live stream ever going to be saved onto YouTube afterwards? Yes, we now save all the Q&As. We don't delete them. And we're actually going to do these twice a month now. So we're going to keep the regular Monday and Thursday 7 p.m. videos, but then we're going to do the Q&As twice a month as well at 8:30. Charlie Munn says, cheers, James, love the content and hope to do the university soon once I've got the sodding pub back open, 3 weeks and counting. Well, we'd love to have you there, and I think there's loads of marketing tips to get that pub as busy as possible as soon as you open. Daniel Bessie said, how? I don't understand what you mean by that. Carl Harrison's rent to service accommodation can be a good strategy, but there are a lot of people entering it and doing it very badly. Weirdly, the lower barrier to entry means the cream floats to the top. We operate more than 50 units. Carl, that's good for you. I just like, that's great for you, and I'm not knocking it. And I know you're a top guy, and that's what you want to do. I just want to do stuff that's even higher barrier to entry than that. I'd want to own all the 50 um, 50 50 units. Aaron, who I work with, has just asked me, do I like raisins? A weird thing to ask. Our Essex ice cream firm been going for 90 years old. I wonder what that one is. Wink, wink. Well, we'll be letting the world know exactly what it is on the 1st, 2nd of April, but we're not letting everyone know just yet. Tendai just says, I've learned a lot from just your videos. I've hired a management team and also hired a bookkeeper. I will join the Entourage University soon. Well, why are you not joining it now? Do the 14-day free trial, learn a load of good stuff, get your team doing the modules as well, and you grow your business. London 876, problem is everyone does rent to rent. It's saturated. Yes, I agree. And the other thing is what a lot of people that are doing rent to rent, and I will get on that. There are some people doing it really well and making some good money, but I think a lot of people are doing mortgage fraud, and they haven't. The landlords, not the people renting off of the landlords, but the people that actually own the property, haven't got permission from the lenders to go and do that. And I think that's going to happen more and more, and that's a bit of a worry. Mike Chudley says, "Who makes your videos? They're amazing." Yeah, they are, and that's you. You make my videos, and you're bloody amazing. And if you want to know more about making videos, Mike Chudley is on YouTube. He sits next to me every day. What a lucky man! And he makes all my videos, but not this one. So don't judge him by this one because he hasn't made this one. But go and subscribe to his channel at Mike Chudley. Well, there we go. There we go. Stay, I went from rent to rent. Be warned, there's Ian Taylor there. Look, we got some arguments on the rent to rent. Enjoyed the interviews. How is the lady in Rockamilly doing? You're talking about the podcast there. Let me just, Yaz is saying, doing over the pandemic, did she put into practice your tips? Will you do an update? Yes, we let people come on to the podcast. only after a year. So she's probably close to coming on again now because hopefully she has interacted and done that stuff. But yeah, we don't like people coming on too soon. We like to give them a year to make sure the audience finds it super duper interesting. Well, there we go, guys. Couple of things. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button now. There's 37 people watching and only 11 people liking it. So please hit that like button. Give it a big fat punch because that really helps the YouTube algorithm. Please, 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 please just hit that like button straight away. And if you want to try my Entrepreneurs University to help grow your business, then you can do that for free at my website, James Sinclair. I see 6 of you have just hit that like button. Thank you very bloody much. That's very kind of you. I'm just going to answer this last one from Tendai before I go. Hi, James. What do you think about car leasing as a business owner? I don't understand setting up a car leasing business or leasing cars. If I had cash in my business, I would much rather lease vehicles and put the cash that I had there into freeholds and property, so that because that's an appreciating value, and then you can depreciate your vehicles, and it's very tax efficient to do that through the P&L. Going in a bit heavy there, but that would be my advice on that one if it was me. Well, there we go, guys. We've just jammed here for 30 minutes and 8 seconds. And if you are watching us, please smash the like button here on YouTube. Chance, I'm going to get a big sign as well. I've decided I've even sent someone a quote, a little bit of something I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a big neon sign that says smash the like button, because there's a guy on YouTube that does it called Graham Stephan, who I've been watching. I just want a little shout out to him. He's bloody fantastic. Fiona Sweeney says, brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you. James K. Thanks to all you guys. To your continued success. See you real soon. Bye bye. I was just going to work out how to end this video. How do I do that?